Hello, welcome to my channel, A Blessed Budget. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you're notified that I am budgeting. Before I get started, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to budget with me and support me during this financial journey as I navigate through how to make my money stretch through the month. And to all of my viewers, I hope after this video you will consider subscribing.
Vibes on vibes, I'm ticking dynamite. I blow your candle lights. You know I'm just that type. No, them no fit kill my vibe. Them no fit kill my vibe. No fit kill, them no fit kill. Them no fit kill my eyes are set, full of the stars. Yeah, you shall find her. It's a bad vibe. If you hit your enemies shine. If you're not a friend of me, enter the light. Cause you can never kill my vibe. But there is no sacrifices. Everything was taken. You have to make it. Vibe killer, me and no go take shit.
All right, you guys, so I know I am behind schedule. So what we're going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be closing out week 4 and 5, and I'm going to be closing out the whole month of January and setting up for February. But February budget will be in a separate video, so we're just going to do this one video for January, and then we're going to move on to February. Excuse the background noise. It is early in the morning and my daughter's getting ready for school, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with this budget. So we do have our January paycheck budget tracker for the week number 4 from the 21st through the 27th. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the inflow that I did receive. So for rollover number 1, we did rollover $105.28. For rollover number 2, we did rollover $1,819.83. And car maintenance did come in at $225. So our inflow total was $2,150.11. So the bills that had to get covered this week was the way, and that was $20. Renter's insurance was due on the 25th, but they did not take it out on the 25th. So I'm going to have to add it to next week's bills. Water did come out at $31.98. And then Pandora did come out on the 21st at $5.99. So altogether, our fixed expense total was $57.97, leaving us a leftover of $2,092.14. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move down to the variable expenses for week 4. So for gas, we spent $57.26. For household, we spent $50.88. Food out, we were over budget, $40.14. Me, I spent $98.92. Daughter did not receive nothing. Son received $10. Miscellaneous received $20. Car wash, car accessories received $0. School received $0. Savings spent was $225. So altogether, our variable expenses for week 4 was $502 with 20 cents. And that left us with $1,598.94. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move over to our extra debt. As you can see, we did have extra debt, which was the Discover credit card. I did pay the $195.05 for that, and that balance is now at $0. So for our extra debt, we did spend $195.05 with a leftover of $1,394.89. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the extra savings. So we had in our account number 1, we are rolling over $105.28, and in account 2, we are rolling over $1,289.61. So altogether, our savings total was $1,394.89 with $0 left over. Okay, so this is a look at week 4. We were light with bills this week. So we're going to go ahead and check out week 5, we're gonna actually like budget week 5 and close out week 5 because week 5 is already done. We're already in February, so, and then we're gonna go ahead and close out the whole month. I don't know, it just feels like I'm so behind in the videos. It's because I'm just so busy with internships and making sure my classes is staying, you know, I'm on top of my classes. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this out strong. Okay, so we are now looking at our January paycheck budget tracker, and this ran for 4 days, and that ran from the 28th through the 31st for me. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the inflow. So we had rollover number 1 at $105.28. Well, we actually budgeted $81.21 to rollover, but we rolled over $105.28. We budgeted for account 2 $1,292.74, but we actually rolled over $1,289.61. Source 4 did come in. I did not budget for that source, but it did come in at $119.52. So altogether, our inflow total was $1,514.41. So the 2 bills that we had to cover this week was the way I budgeted $10, but actually got $20, and renter's insurance came out this week for $24.07, and that was the actual amount that came out. So for our fixed expense total, for the budgeted side, it came up to $34.07, but it was actually $44.07. So we did have a leftover of $1,470.34. Okay, so we are going to be looking at our variable expenses for week 5. Okay, so for our variable expenses, we had gas. I budgeted that at $60, but it was actually $53.48. Food out, of course, I did not budget nothing for that, but we did spend $26.10. I budgeted me $50, and I spent $2.16. Miscellaneous received $238.55. So our variable expense total budgeted was $110, but we actually spent $320.29. So we had a leftover of $1,150.05. So this would be the actual numbers that we're going to be taking into February with us, because this is the last week of January. So these are February start balances. So for account 1, we are starting February with $81.21. And for account 2, we are starting February with $1,068.84. I did want to keep this account above $1,000 for February, so that was a goal of mine, and I did succeed in that goal. So we're starting February with over $1,000 right here, account 2. So our savings total for week 4 was $1,150.05, giving us a leftover of $0. Okay, you guys, so this is a look at week 5. Now, we're going to go ahead and close out for the whole month of January. And I am going to go ahead and set up for February, but that will be in a separate video, so you guys stay tuned. Okay, so now we are looking at the January debt payment plan. So you guys know I'm not in debt that much, but I do have some debt. The only debt that I do have is my 2 cars that I'm paying on, and then like if I need to borrow from one of these companies, of course. So yeah, I do have, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I do got student loans, but I don't claim them, okay? I don't claim that I have them at all, so I ignore them. But I know one day they're probably gonna come and bite me in my butt again, but you know, I'm going to dispute them. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started with our January debt payment plan. So I do have some creditors right here listed. So we do have the Equinox, and the balance is $2,788.65. You guys, if I was not budgeting this amount, they probably would have been repoed my car already. Oh, you guys, this balance was $16,000. These two cars were $16,000 a piece, you guys, and now for them to be under $10,000 is so amazing. It is so amazing. I just thank God for budgeting because I can see the true picture and I'm not getting played out here by the creditors. Okay, so when I do receive my settlement, I am going to be knocking this payment off. This whole balance will be done. Zero. So we'll just only be working with one vehicle to be getting that paid off. And that one vehicle, I'm praying to God that this vehicle would be paid off by the end of December. It's only $6,000. So that's probably going to be another goal that I'm going to add into my goals, is to pay off these two cars this year. We did pay off Klarna and we did pay off Discover. They both do have a zero balance. So we did pay extra debt payment. So we did do Discover and our extra amount was $195.05 and I did pay that on the 19th of January. And Klarna, we did pay extra $46.98 and that was paid on the 19th as well. So our total debt payments this month, the minimum and the extra, was $979.71. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get down here to our monthly debt progress. So for the month, our progress for the month, instead of the overall debt progress, that's over here. So for our monthly debt progress last month, which was December, we had a balance of $10,805.69. This month total debt balance for January is $9,718.95. So our total debt monthly progress we spent was $1,086.74, which is a progress about 5%, which is amazing. We did good this month in paying off some debt. So our overall debt balance, our overall debt progress. So when I started tracking my debt in 2022, and in 2022, our debt was $23,170.40. I like to carry this balance over every year to make sure I see that this number is continuously going down and not up. It just gives me a reminder of how much debt we had and the progress that we're making. And I love this page right here. It just opens up my eyes to see what we have left over and how much we are progressing in the debt section. So we started off with over $23,000 worth of debt, and this month our debt balance is under $10,000, so it's $9,718.95. So overall debt progress since we've been paying off debt since 2022, we done paid off $13,451.45 worth of debt. So that is over 50%. That's actually almost 60% of our debt that we done paid off. It's going to be so amazing because when I get my settlement, like I said, this balance is going to get knocked off immediately. So this is going to go up significantly. So this is my debt payment plan. This is what we've been doing. I am planning on getting a mortgage. I am planning to buy some land and get a modular home built in the factory and have them bring it to my land. So I am in the process of like trying to start that going. I'm not for sure where I want to live at. I know I'm going to be in Southern California still. I'm not moving out of the state. I'm trying to find some land that is going to be no more than about like $20,000. So we'll see. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next page. Okay, so as you all can see, we are now on the page, where did my money go? For January, the monthly budget category breakdown. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this page. I do have some colors down here, and I did go ahead and see what happened during January. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our section up here. So when we started the month of January, we only started with $21.97. Our earned income was $837. Our other income was $7,514.99, you guys, in other income. And in the savings used, we used $276.21 worth of savings. So our total monthly inflow for the month of January was $8,650.17. This month has been like the most that I've ever gotten. So yeah, we're starting off strong in January. In the new year, we're starting off strong with income, but I do consider myself still low income. Okay, so my budget categories is rent, utilities, insurance, monthly subscriptions, yearly subscriptions, debt, gas, household food out, me, daughter, son, miscellaneous, school, savings deposited, ties, car wash, car accessories, and I guess like savings spent. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So for rent, I did budget $120, but we spent $0, so that was a difference of $120, and that was 0% of our total monthly inflow. For utilities, I budgeted $300 for the month. We did stay underneath that, and that was $298.61. We were under budget, and that was 3% of our total monthly inflow. For insurance, I budgeted $300, and we actually spent $300.42, so I was over budget by 42 cents, and that was 3% of our total monthly inflow. For our monthly subscriptions, I budgeted $90, and we actually spent $192.48. That's because of me adding a gym membership to my budget, and I did not budget for me to add a gym membership to my budget, so therefore we were over by $102.48, and that was 2%. Okay, so for yearly subscriptions, I budgeted $0, we spent $0, and that was $0 difference and 0% of our total monthly inflow. For debt, I budgeted $800. We actually spent $979.71 on debt. So we're over budget by over $179.71, and that was 11% of our total monthly inflow. For gas, I budgeted $250 for the month. We actually spent $247.66, so we were under budget in gas, so that is a good thing. So we were under budget by $2.34, and that was 3% of our total monthly inflow. Okay, so for household, I budgeted $200. We actually spent $365.23, and we were over budget by $165.23, and that was 4% of our total monthly inflow. Food out, I budgeted $100 for the month. We actually spent $182.14, so I was over budget by $82.14, but that was only 2% of our total monthly inflow that went towards food out the house. I budgeted $200 for the month. We actually spent $341.66, so I was over budget by $141.66, and that was 4% of our total monthly inflow. For my daughter, I budgeted her $50 for the month. She actually spent $98.80, so she was over by $48.80, and that was 1% of our total monthly inflow. For my son, I budgeted him $50, and he actually spent $109.25. So that he was over budget by $59.25, and that was 1% of our total monthly inflow. For miscellaneous, you guys, I budgeted $100, and we spent $383.16. So that was, we were over budget by $283.16, which was 4% of our total monthly inflow that went towards miscellaneous. For school, I budgeted $12. We actually spent $6, so we were under budget by $6, and that was 0% of our total monthly inflow. It was like less than 1%, so I just said it was 0%. Savings deposited, I had budgeted $45 to save, but I actually saved $3,700. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So we were over budget by $3,655, and that was 43% of our total monthly inflow that went towards savings, which is amazing because you guys know that the debt percentage always be higher than anything else. To see that I saved 43% of our total monthly inflow is a great thing. For tithing, I budgeted $50 for tithing, and I actually spent $70 for tithing, so we were over budget by $20, and that was only 1% of our total monthly inflow. Car wash, car accessories, I budgeted $20. I spent $0. I haven't been able to go wash my car, so that was, we actually were under budget by $20, and that was 0% of our total monthly inflow. Okay, so we have savings spent. I budgeted $0, but we actually spent $225, and we're over budget by $225, and that was 3% of our total monthly inflow. So as you can see, I was only on budget for one thing, and that's a yearly subscriptions. I knew I wasn't going to have no yearly subscriptions in January, but I do have a yearly subscription coming up in February, so you guys stay tuned for that video. So as far as January goes, you guys, I am very excited to announce that we did save 43% of our total monthly inflow. I would like to see that number stay up that high, and I would like to see the debt percentage go down. If I am able to save 50% of my total monthly inflow, that would be amazing. But you never know what the year is going to have for you, so I'm not going to count on it too much, but I am going to keep that in the back of my mind that in January, our savings deposited was very, 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 very high. Like the highest part I ever seen it since I've been budgeting. So that is a good thing. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next page. Where did my money go? We're going to do the monthly debt and savings breakdown. So for debt, we had a total monthly inflow of $8,650.17. Our monthly debt payoff was $979.71. So that was 11% of our total monthly inflow. Our percentage of inflow to debt, and then our debt categories. Like I said, I have a couple of creditors. I have my Equinox, and that was $320. 33% went to the Equinox of this $979.71. The Ford received $274.37. That was 28% of our money that went towards the Ford. Klarna got $140.29. That was 14%. And Discover got $245.05, and that was 25%. I did catch this before they charged me interest on this Discover card, so yes, that's good. Now for our savings, I did this part wrong, so I am going to correct it, because when I actually put these numbers into the system for the Excel version of the Budget by Paycheck workbook, these numbers are all supposed to be the same, and I think it's like 8%. So we're going to go ahead and do some math real quick, and I am going to speed this part up because I don't want to be embarrassed. Okay, so I will be right back.
Vibes on vibes, I'm a ticking dynamite. I blow your candle lights. You know I'm just that type. No, them no fit kill my vibe. Them no fit kill my vibe. No fit kill, them no fit kill. Them no fit kill my eyes are set, full of the stars. Yeah, you shall find her. It's a bad vibe. If you hit your enemies shine. If you're not depend on me.
Okay, so as you all can see, I went ahead and did a little bit of math, and we actually saved 45% of our total monthly inflow, but over there it said 43%. I'm just going to leave it alone. We saved some money, you guys, okay? We saved some money. So our emergency, I saved $3,200 for emergencies this month, and that was 86% of our total monthly income. And the rest of these are 9%. For car maintenance, I saved $300. For car insurance deductible, I saved $300. For education, I saved $300. For Christmas, I saved $300. And for gifts and holidays, I saved $300. And all that was 9% of our total monthly income. So this is where my money went for debt and savings. Like I said, this number, I love to see that this number is high. It's the highest it's ever been since I've been budgeting. And this percentage is low. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get to the next page. This is the last page of where did my money go for January. So for January's monthly spending comparison, I don't want to compare what I did last year to this year. So I did not go ahead and do December. December is its own year with its own month. So therefore, we're going to start off January with January. So next month, which is already February, we're already in February. So I'm going to be doing a January and a February. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So we had no inflow change because I'm not counting December. Okay, so for rent, this is basically what I just went over on the other page. For rent, it was $0. Utilities, we spent $289.61. Insurance, we spent $300.42, and so forth and so forth. I just told you guys everything that we spent in each category, and this is what it is. I am negative because, like I said, I did not use nothing to compare it to. So we're just going to be in the negative. It's going to be a negative change amount until we do February. And that's it, you guys. So I would like to thank you guys so much for joining me today in this closeout of January. I do really appreciate it. You guys stay tuned because we are going to go ahead and do February. Thank you guys so much for budgeting with me today. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, you guys take care. Bye-bye.
You have to make it. Vibe killer, me and no go take shit.